What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. Are you guys ready for a shiitake mushroom? Oh, what happened? Okay, are you guys ready? Sorry, everything just disappeared there for a second, and I was like, what is going on here? Are you guys ready for shiitake mushrooms to be served? Because they are about to be served in a major way. Now, there's a lot of times when I start this show and I'm completely unprepared, but this is one of the most incredible times ever in terms of being just totally unprepared. And I do have an excuse. Of course, I've got an excuse, right? We always have an excuse when we screw things up to a very high level. And I Am Wretch just scared the crap out of me saying there's no sound, and I'm like, oh my god, now I've got sound problems as well. Great. Isn't everything just working out wonderfully for me? But I gotta tell you guys, I have a really jacked up sore throat. I have a major headache. I am basically sick. Like, if I had a regular 9-to-5 job, I would probably call in sick to work today. And there, Paradise says, excuse is Job is in the building. No, today is Monday. We got a couple of days for Job. There's going to be a point, actually, when Job is going to start coming very rarely because grass is no longer growing. There won't be any more leaves. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close to that. But no, I was going to actually just call this show off and not even have a show. But I named the damn show VR365. This is the corner that I've backed myself into. The show is called VR365. We're supposed to do a show every day. Sometimes I have nothing to talk about. Sometimes there's no reason to really have a show. I didn't play anything yesterday. I don't have any great take on some unknown VR game that I haven't played. And to the best of my knowledge, there isn't any major breaking news, but I feel a responsibility to you, the viewers out there. I feel a responsibility, like I got to come here every day. I got to do this thing. I got to put something on the docket, no matter how craptacular it may be. So that's what we're kind of looking at today. Have nothing prepared. And we're just going to work from scratch here. What I can say is that today is Monday. It is December 17th. It is 11:23 a.m. We are definitely late. We have started about 20 minutes late here. But you know what? Now we're here, and let's go ahead and make the best of things. So one of the things that we can get into as we start off today's show is when you don't have anything going on, go to the mailbag, right? Let's go to the mailbag. So that is something we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our Webby browser window here. And this is our channel, VR365. So let's go ahead and look at the mailbag. Now, yesterday, I'm going to admit, folks, that this show right here, I thought this was a pretty terrible show. Like, I don't think I did very good in this show at all. I've got 33 upvotes, no downvotes. But this is one of these shows where when I walked away from this show, I was like, not one of my finer efforts. That's pretty much what I thought. I was like, that was not a good show. Every once in a while, I will walk away from a show thinking, you know what? I nailed it. I really nailed it on that show. That was a fabulous show. I feel really good about it. Not this one. This one I thought was kind of crappy. But you know what? I went through it, banged it out anyway. It is what it is. Let's check out some of the comments real quick. So Paradise Decay says, sorry, miss this, Anthony. Us Brits are all in bed. Yeah, you know, that was part of it too. We had a really late episode yesterday. We ended up starting actually at 3:45 p.m. because we had our Game of the Year celebration on VR Roundtable, and I wasn't sure how long that thing was going to go. It could have went 3 hours or whatever, so I decided, you know, to make my show much later, give myself a break. So yeah, a lot of the UK audience was asleep for that show. We didn't have very many people in chat. It was kind of a slow show from that standpoint. Jay Pace says, so glad you're including brass tactics for VR Game of the Year consideration. I just hope Vox Machina wins the wild card slot. Yeah, you know, in regards to the wild card thing, So I still don't know whether we're going to use 25 total games or whether we're going to use 30 total. Now, we've got 12 of them guaranteed because they're going to win their months. So that is where 12 of them come in. We've got another 7 games that have been named additional qualifiers. They are in. They've made the cutoff. So we have a grand total of 19 games. Now, we could potentially add another 6 games and have a total of 25. And that's probably where we're going to be at. We're probably going to have a total of 25 games that we're going to consider for our Game of the Year awards, for our top 10, our Elite 5, the Game of the Year, and then all the different categories. You know, well, we could have different categories where a game that is not in that top 25 could still win one of the other categories. So we're going to be figuring this out. And guess what? Not a lot of news is going to happen over the next couple of weeks. This is where things slow down like you wouldn't believe. So we'll have plenty of time to go over all of this. But absolutely, Brass Tactics is a shoo-in for an additional qualifier. It did not win the month of February because of In Death. In Death launched on February 1st. And Brass Tactics and Moss, 2 incredible games of February, they got boned, but they, of course, are getting in for the additional qualifiers. So, yeah, Brass Tactics is in the mix. Now, A_Gilling says you don't have to keep pressing the thumbstick to run. Just press it, then as long as you're pushing forward on the thumbstick, you will keep sprinting. Are you sure about that? Because it seems like I really had to, force that thumbstick, and that was incredibly irritating. And I thought for sure I could go into the menu, and I thought there's a setting in the menu that you can enable where you're always running. And I thought they put that in there because maybe you've already got that set. Maybe you already set it to always running. I don't think I have it set to always running. I did not get back into Contractors yesterday. I was planning on doing it, but didn't get around to it. Part of it is I'm sick. I've got like this cold thing. I'm not really excited about jumping into VR when I feel like crap. VR Spry Guy says, late show today, perfect for me, and I still missed it live. Hybrid Energy says, darn, missed the show. Anth, to me, Contractors has impressive gun mechanics. Not sure why you had trouble. So one tip, when you hover your non-grip hand over areas of the gun, white balls signifying areas on the gun that you can interact with should appear. Typically, you can pull the clip out, put a new one in, and just have to do some kind of single cocking mechanism. It works great and fast. And you know what? I got to admit, when I first got in there, I didn't understand it. But no, I admit it. Yes, you're right. There are these little white things that show up. And then also when I got into the menu, it was talking about you use grip to basically interact with your gun. And so I realized, okay, grip. So it must be grip to take out your clip, grip to put in your clip. You know, I was trying to hit all these different buttons. Things weren't working. I need more time in the game. So I really can't say anything about Contractors. I have failed you. I've failed you, Anakin. I have failed you. I have not given a proper evaluation of Contractors in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to blame it on my cold, but the truth is I have failed you. Okay, Scion says, don't be too hard on yourself about Contractors. You do a show every day, plus Let's Plays now, and there are always multiple games you can play, and then there was that Oculus error. Yeah, there's some more excuses. Thanks, Scion. Thank you for giving me so many more excuses I can use. Yeah, there was an Oculus runtime error. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. That's why I was unable to play Contractors. It wasn't that I just failed to go in it and kept putting it off and never went in it. It's not that. Alan Harry, and I apologize. I'm probably making a lot of weird noises with my mouth here and my throat. My throat is just freaking killing me. So I need like one of those cough drops, and I have a bunch of them, but I don't have one with me right now. Rendered Reality says, man, Contractors is so good. It is honestly the best FPS game in VR that I have played. I love being able to adjust the weapon placement for using a stock, makes it feel perfect. The graphics are really good. I have a 2080. Aren't we fortunate? And with the settings cranked up, it looks gorgeous. The gunplay is so smooth. We have a couple replies to that. Alan Harrington says he needs to grab it. And Rendered Reality says, yeah, get it now while it's only 17 bucks. You won't regret it. And I have seen other people talking about this. You know, we can take a look at some comments maybe from this Borderlands video real quick too. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. But I have some people, I've seen some comments on the subreddit. Somebody was saying Contractors is basically, it's like Rainbow Six. It's like, this is our Rainbow Six game of VR. So there are a lot of people that are excited about Contractors. So I do need to get back in there. I'm going to get back in there, and here's the thing. Whatever team I'm on, you're going to lose. You are going to lose whatever team I'm on. And I'm just going to have to deal with the reality that I'm going to ruin a bunch of other people's gameplay. But I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for science. I got to get in there. I got to get sniped firsthand. I got to see what it's like firsthand. And I am going to cause some serious problems. Okay, so Paradise Decay. This was on a little Let's Play I did for Borderlands. And the ending to this video was god-awful. And I'll tell you why. I can't believe 31 upvotes, no downvotes. The ending was absolutely horrible, because when I was doing this Let's Play, like as I was doing it, I was like, I'm not going to use any of this. So I didn't even, like, I needed to be in the world of Borderlands, and I needed to say, all right, well, that's going to do it for this Let's Play, everybody. Had fun playing Borderlands. See you guys next time. I needed to do something like that, and I didn't do anything like that. And so it doesn't have a proper ending, so I just kind of end the video. I didn't think I was going to use this footage at all, but I thought, what the heck, I'll use it. Okay, so David Franklin, oh wait, Paradise says, what happened to episode 1? Episode 1 was Astrobot. So this is the VR365 Let's Play series. Episode 1 was Astrobot. Episode 2 was Borderlands 2. And so we're just kind of doing it like that. So that's what we're talking about here with the episodes. I wonder if somebody in the reply. Yeah, so episode 1 is the Astrobot. So Fluke is breaking it down right there. David Franklin says, good job, Anthony. The mic sounds fine. I wouldn't worry too much about a more complicated setup. Look forward to the next video. Yeah, in terms of thinking about what next video I'm going to do, so I haven't done any PC VR games. I haven't done any Oculus games or Steam games, and the reason why is every time I've tried to record that kind of footage, it has been choppy and stuttery, and it hasn't been good quality footage. And so I've basically just been doing PlayStation VR stuff because I recorded on the PlayStation 4, and it always works fine. Now, very soon, this week, I'm going to be getting new memory, and I'm going to be building my new super-powered computer, and I believe once that computer is done and it's working and everything's working fine, I believe I'm going to be able to record gameplay video, and it won't have any hitchiness. It'll all be good. And then, so I'll have a lot of Oculus Let's Plays. I'll have a lot of Steam Let's Plays. But my next one might be Red Matter. I might go into Red Matter. I might do squishies. I might do Red Matter on PSVR just to talk about how much I love Red Matter and kind of talk about how good the graphics are on PSVR and how impressed I am with the translation of Red Matter. So I might do that. I might do squishies. I don't know. You know, the PSVR is just so easy to do it on there because I know that the footage is not going to be jacked. It's not good footage, and I hope to improve that in the future as well. So anyway, that's kind of what people are talking about. Petter Oz says the PlayStation 4 Pro version of Borderlands 2 is 20% denser pixel-wise than the vanilla. Man, I can imagine vanilla, like Borderlands 2 VR on a vanilla PlayStation 4. I can imagine that being Pixel City if it's 20% less pixels and it's more pixelated. Okay, so this was episode 39 of our show, and I don't know that I've ever gone through the mailbag of this one, and we don't really have a lot of stuff to talk about here right now. Oh, also, Greg's VR. I believe Greg's VR is in chat right now, and he says OBS is a secondhand source. And what he's saying, I believe, I think Greg's VR, yeah, Greg's VR says record your footage via the NVIDIA experience. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to watch like some kind of tutorial video on how to record my video via the NVIDIA experience, I'll try that out. I'm down to try that out. I have no problem with trying that out. So I will look into that, Greg's VR, and maybe I could do some Oculus Rift footage and some Steam game footage and stuff even before my new PC is built. So I will look into that. So T-Dub says, looks like I missed a classic episode, folks, with VR Paradise. Yeah, that was a really funny, entertaining episode. I had a lot of fun with that episode. I was really hopeful that I did not get ejected off of YouTube altogether, because seriously, when I hit that next button and I saw all those pictures of like practically naked women, I was like, oh man, why did this happen to me? It was pretty hilarious. Let me scroll down. Somebody actually mentioned something about it, or maybe it got deleted. I don't know. I Am Ruts does have a question here, though. He says, 16 days left in December. Do you think we're going to get District Steel in 2018? I actually replied to him and I said, I seriously doubt it. What did I say? I doubt it, but maybe in mid-January. That's what I said. And let's see. And then there's some talk about some adult stuff as well. Try it for science. That's Charles Van Nolan. Yeah, did you guys, has everybody gone in there? Have you guys gone into VR Paradise? Have you tried my pro tip? Have you tried standing up? Even though you're not supposed to stand up, sit down, center your view, but then stand up and kind of walk around. Have you stood like right next to one of those ladies and have them standing right in front of you? There's something about that perspective. There's something about like kind of looking over their shoulder. They feel like a real human being. They feel like they're occupying real legitimate space in the space-time continuum. They feel like they're there. And then sometimes they'll turn around and they'll look at you with their crazy robot eyes. And it's kind of weird, man. It is kind of weird. I think it is definitely worth checking out. MameFan has posted a video of him playing VR Paradise on YouTube. And yeah, and I think during his video, she said, were you looking at my bottom? Were you looking at my bottom, MameFan? I Am Rhett says, Anthony, did you get your wife to try it yet? No, I haven't. But I do want her to try it because I want her to see just how society in general is hanging by the thinnest of threads, and that thread is going to get snapped. And I Am Rut says, I'm still not sure if this is a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. It maybe not be, but that is VR Paradise. But you know what? Actually, one of the things that we could do real quick here, what did I want to do? Oh, District Steel. So hold on a second here. Why don't we go over to Steam here? And I wanted to show you guys the District Steel Steam page, because they've made a change to this page. So for the longest time, this just said 2018. 2018, 2018, 2018. That is what this has said for the longest time. And somebody at Barricade Studio has updated their Steam page. They've thrown on this new video, which I believe this is their 15-minute video of gameplay footage. So they put that in there, and they changed their release date to Q1 2019. So this has been updated. It does appear like it is going to be coming in sometime, you know, January, February, or March. So we're not getting District Steel this month, definitely not. But hopefully we can look forward to this in early this year. So that's good news. Now, one of the things we can do, guys, is, and this is kind of fun, I do this every once in a while, is we go to virtual reality on Steam, and then I'll click on HTC Vive, and what I'll do is I'll click on release dates. And so we can take a look at some of the some of the most recent releases. I was combining a couple of words there. Some of the most recent releases on Steam in the VR category. And let's see if anything has slipped by us. Okay, so we have Sleigh Runner. That came out today. That is out today. It is 40% off. It is $3.60. Let me click on this real quick. Let's just, looks very indie. Like, look at this logo right here. Is that about the indiest logo? That looks very, very indie. So this kind of looks like something that some dude just randomly put together in his basement. This is where people think, hey, I can make a VR game. Hey, I could jump into Unity and make a VR game. And you know what? Vincent Foster and Robert Richard, they went ahead and did it. And, you know, maybe this is super fun. Maybe this is super awesome. You're basically grabbing like presents and you're shooting snowballs. Looks kind of lame, but I don't know. You know, who knows? Paradise City VR. I'm scared to click on this one because as we see, some of these pictures are not exactly what we're looking for here. But this was the original strip club game that I was thinking about. This was the game where I was talking about Scarface. Do you guys remember that? This game is out. This game is available. This game arrived a couple of days ago. I'm going to click on this real quick, and then I'm just going to click on that really quick to save myself before I get arrested. But yeah, this was the game where I was kind of thinking of Scarface, and I was saying, why don't we have a game that makes us Scarface, and we're in, you know, Miami Beach, and we're walking around on Miami Beach, and we're driving our Mercedes with the bulletproof glass, you know, and we're living the Scarface world. This is the game that I was talking about. This game has come out, but little did these guys know that they were going to be overwritten by another game called VR Paradise. And what a similar name, but VR Paradise, I'm thinking, blows this thing out of the water. Now, the dev of this game, Paradise City VR, they actually sent me an email and said they were going to shoot me a code. I have not been in that email in a couple of days, so I got to double check on this. But I'm willing to try this out. I'm willing to try to be Tony Montana. I don't have a problem with that. You know, I'm willing to drive around a classic 66 Mustang. Like if you click on this and we try to get into the pictures. See, this is dangerous, guys. This is where I got, oh, man, where do I go? Where are the, okay, this looks kind of cool, this little nightclub. They took out the pictures. They had pictures of like classic 66 Mustangs. Where are the 66 Mustangs? I want to drive them around. And they also had like some motorboats that you could drive in the ocean. You could drive them around in the ocean. That's Paradise City VR. It's 20% off at 12 bucks. Hopefully I'll get to try this out and I'll have some thoughts on that. Here's Contractors. It's only 17 bucks. It's got positive reviews right now, very positive. Let's go ahead and click on it and take a look. It's got well over 100 reviews, very positive. This came out on December 14th, Caveman Studio. A lot of people are really liking this. I will do my due diligence and I will try to get into this game and I will try to check it out again. The least I could do is get in and try some more bots and run around with some more bots and try to kill a few bots and then maybe ruin somebody's real life game as a member of their team that will get killed instantly and will do all the wrong things and won't be talking on voice chat and won't even know how to load his own clips. That's going to be me, a terrible liability, but I will get in there and I will probably try that out later today. Toy Shot VR, you know, I was kind of interested. Like, I like the color of this game. We brought this game up already. Like, this looks beautifully colorful and vibrant. Am I crazy to want to go in here and play this? I mean, I guess it's kind of like shooty fruity a little bit, but we're not or actually, you know what? Maybe this isn't available. This isn't okay, so this isn't out yet because we don't have a price on it. Like sometimes we'll get these games in here, like it's showing releases, but this hasn't released. There's no price there. So that is a mistake. Space Battle VR, this is going for 20 bucks. Not a lot of reviews. Like this is one of these games, like, you know, I can't cover every game. I simply can't cover every game. Kind of looks a little bit like Everspace, and it's kind of going for the Eve Valkyrie style and all of that. I mean, just looking at these screenshots, it looks pretty good. But, you know, you really kind of need a demo or something. Like, who's gonna pay 20 bucks for this unless you heard something about it? Rabba Games, they do not ring a bell. Let's click on their name and see if they've made anything else. Rabba Games, no, I guess that's it. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is really good. Maybe it's awesome. I don't know. It kind of looks like, what is it? House of the Rising Sun or whatever, or House of the Sun. There's another game, and then there's like Everspace. There's like Eve Valkyrie, we've got a number of games that are in this category. I don't know if this really ranks with these other games. Logo is halfway decent. Logo isn't too bad. So basically, this is like your classic shit show, ladies and gentlemen, where we're just going over games that have recently released and kind of checking out Steam, checking stuff out. And so that's what we're kind of doing here. So I'm going to scroll down here in chat. Not a lot of people in chat at this point. It is a light day in chat. Everybody is on vacation. A_Gilling says, you won't die instantly in Contractors. Don't oversell yourself. I am Rhett says, well, back to killing bugs. See you all in the rerun. And Greg's VR says, we all have to get good at some point. SSH Turtle says, if anyone misses Anthony and the crew here during shows, check out the Discord at VR365. Yes, absolutely. Bounce over to our Discord every once in a while, guys. It's a pretty nice community. It's a good community. So far, we really haven't had any trolls that have come in there and like posted terrible pictures that you can never unsee. We haven't had any bad things like that. It's worked out very nicely, very friendly. So absolutely bounce over to our Discord server. There's an invite in every one of our episodes in the show notes. There's an invite in there. We're open to everybody. We kind of have an open door policy, unlike Donald Trump. And so far, it hasn't bit us in the ass. So, so far, things have worked out well. Shish Turtle is one of our bouncers over there, one of our mods. Actually, the only mod. I probably need to make a couple other people mods as well. So that's worked out nicely. But going back over here to these new games that have come out on Steam recently, Shadow Uprising, you know, this is a recent release. This one is going for 18 bucks. Looks kind of interesting, kind of has this stealth look, kind of has a cell shaded kind of look. Looks a little bit like Sariento VR, or yeah, Sariento VR a little bit there. Welcome Above. This is a game that I think looks pretty cool. And somebody did a post in the Vive subreddit ranting and raving about this game. May have been the dev's mom, of course. We know how that happens. Subject 264. Remember this one? This one came out. I was wondering, when is Subject 264 going to come out? You know, I've kind of had my eyes on this. The developer's name is Virtual Guys. Not the greatest name, I don't think. This came out on December 12th. You're talking about a stealth release. This baby came out and it was a whisper, like nobody even knows much about it. The regular price is 15 bucks. It's going for 12 bucks. Looks like they recently patched the game because they had some problems there with the Oculus Touch controllers. The graphics, like, you know, looking at screenshots and everything is so dark and so drab. And then there's a lot of emptiness that is going on in this game. But at the same time, I don't know, I'm looking at some of these screenshots. And yeah, it's very dark, very drab, but at the same time, it kind of reminds me of Oregon Quarter a little bit, but I don't know if it's like even 1/4 as good as Oregon Quarter, because I really feel like Oregon Quarter is a very awesome game that is just absolutely dripping with atmosphere. Really puts you into that place. It's a really horrible, terrible place, Oregon Quarter. And I love it for that. I love that we can get into VR games and you can really get the vibe of a place. And I was kind of hoping that maybe Subject 264 might be this kind of game. But, you know, not the best. You know, we only got 2 reviews. Not a lot of people talking about it here. So that is Subject 264. And that's pretty much all of the recent releases. You know, Blade and Sorcery, everybody loves this game. I definitely was in the wrong. Like, look at this, 525 very positive reviews. I'm definitely off on my own private island here, where I believe that this is a tech demo, but it is a very good tech demo, but it's a tech demo. But I guess I'm wrong. So I will admit it. I'm wrong. Everybody else is right. Maybe Blade and Sorcery is way funner than everybody else thought it was. Or maybe everybody else is easily entertained and I'm not. I don't know. But I was pretty much on my own little island with Blade and Sorcery. So I will go ahead and accept full responsibility for that. Okay, so we can go back to the virtual reality games, and instead of looking at what is already available, we can click on the upcoming, and we can take a quick look at some upcoming games here. Is there anything coming very, very soon that we are very, very hyped for? And A lot of these, excuse me, a lot of these, I haven't heard of any of these right here. Don't know anything about them. Okay, now Wrench, we all have heard of Wrench. We know this is coming on the 19th, which is Wednesday. So if you've just been chomping at the bit to change your oil and to flood, to pump your brakes and to flood your brakes, or to do whatever to what is it? What do you do to your brakes? I forget what it was called, but you do something to your brakes, you know, to flood your brakes, to dry your brakes out. I don't know, to put your brakes in the sunlight. If you've been waiting forever to do this, you only got 2 more days. It is coming on Wednesday. What do you guys think the price is going to be for that? I'd have to guess like $19.99 is kind of what I would guess for that. And then we have all these other games here. I mean, like these logos just look like ass to me, guys. Like, I don't even want to clip. Like, look at this. Adapter Parish. Look at that logo. Don't you think you could make a better logo than this in about 3 minutes? I don't know. I do. I feel like I can make a better and I barely know how to use GIMP. I barely know how to use any of these kinds of softwares, but I feel like I can make a better logo than that. So it's like I see a logo like this, I don't even want to click on your game. It looks like some kind of like real-time strategy game, I guess. You know, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. But like a lot of these logos, like I don't even click on these games. Maybe I'm making a massive mistake. Maybe the next great VR game is hidden among these games and I'm just not giving it a proper chance. Like Toter. Toter, bro. Let's play Toter, man. Toter's kind of like Frogger, bro, but it's brought into VR. It's kind of like Frogger. Toter is a fun spin on an old classic. Dodge cars, snowballs, lawnmowers, spaceships, and more as you hop through a world much larger than you are. So this is basically Frogger in the first person. It is called Toter. And apparently it is made by one dude, Rudy Schwartz. Rudy Schwartz is getting his game on. He's learned Unity. He's in his mom's basement and he is dangerous. He's bringing out a VR game and he is trying to make the dream come alive. And you know, the world is kind of like a Just in Time Incorporated looking kind of a world, I guess you might be able to say. And Just in Time Incorporated is actually a pretty cool game. I think it's not that bad. You know, I like the color. Like, I love that planet out there, these different little planets. It looks kind of cool. I don't know, this might be halfway decent. Who knows? It's really going to depend on the gameplay. But like a lot of these developers, man, they are swimming upstream because whoever this dude is, this guy Rudy Schwartz, he's got to sell probably 1,000 copies of this game at like $8 to like make his money back, maybe for the time he invested. Like, I don't even know if that would make his money back, right? 1,000 copies at $8, that's $8,000. Like, will he make his money back? Will he sell 1,000 copies? Will this cost $8? Will it cost $5? Will it cost $10? Will he only sell like 50 copies of this? That is the reality that we're dealing here. If you are an indie dev, you got to hope that you catch lightning in a bottle. You got to hope that some random YouTubers somehow spot your game and somehow fall in love with it or make like a really funny joke video out of it, like Nathy. Like, you got to hope that Nathy somehow gets his hands on this game and does a dumb little video out of it, and then you're showered with like 2,000 purchases and it all comes true. That's really what's going on here for a lot of these indie developers. They are wishing upon a star, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we also have Polybius. Yeah, Polybius, the last I heard, so it says Q4 2018. We have not seen a date on this at all. What's going to happen is there's going to be a random tweet one day, and it's going to say Polybius is on Steam. It is available right now. You can grab it. And it's just going to randomly happen one time, but it hasn't happened yet. Or this might end up in January or even possibly February. I don't know, Polybius, but it was a pretty cool game on PlayStation VR, to be sure. Okay, so let's go back over here to our standard scene. Turtle says Toter looks cool. Yeah, I mean, some of the screenshots do look kind of cool there. Let me throw on a different trailer in our background here, just so I have a different trailer running, because I have been running that one for a while. Though we haven't really been on the screen much. I'll just throw on a little trailer mix, where I mix up a bunch of different trailers. So anyway, what we could do now is we could go ahead and check out the news. You know, we can go ahead. That's one thing we always can do, is check out the news. So let's go ahead and bounce over here to Upload VR. Let's give this a brand new refresh real quick. And so they're talking about Shattered State. Shattered State review, a shaky but respectable VR thriller from the makers of Until Dawn. Supermassive Games, huh? What is this? I haven't heard anything about this. So Supermassive Games is back on the right track. Bravo team might have been a misfire, but Shattered State sees the Until Dawn developer return to its narrative roots. Okay, what is this coming out on? Is this already available? I didn't even hear about this. Let's see, I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Okay, so it's a Daydream game. Okay, gee, that's why I've never heard of it. It's a Daydream game. You know what, though? This is what we could do, folks. Let's go and see if we can find this. Let's look up Supermassive Games. I'll grab this trailer. Supermassive Games. And let's see if we can find the trailer for this. Let's go to the horse's mouth. There it is. There's the launch trailer. So what I'll do, guys, is I will go ahead and see if I can grab this in 4K video downloader. This is how the sausage is made, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I do it. I usually try to do this kind of stuff before I start the episode, but today it was a last minute deal. I barely even got, like, my thumbnail. My thumbnail is not this shirt, so I got to create a new thumbnail where I'm like, hi, and I'm wearing this shirt. I got to do that. I haven't done that yet. And it's a random background. The thumbnail is Jupiter and Mars, which is this underwater dolphin kind of game that is coming to PlayStation VR, which has nothing to do with anything, but I had to have some kind of thumbnail, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this Shattered State launch video for Daydream. Let's go ahead and check this out. We can both watch it together. I'm pretty ignorant about the Daydream platform, but I know there are some great Daydream games that eventually come to Oculus Go and Gear VR, so let's go ahead and check this one out.
You are the director of the National Intelligence Agency. Today, you will have some difficult decisions to make.
Things will go a lot easier if you help us.
You know what this will look like politically. Everyone knows things are a mess right now.
Main risks. Special forces try to grab them first.
Good job we don't interfere in politics. This doesn't need to happen. Just hand them over.
If we don't stop them, there's going to be a massacre.
Weapons free.
This is madness.
What the hell was that?
Alrighty, so that is Shattered State. That is on the Daydream. This is a talented developer, folks. Supermassive Games is a very talented developer. They have now made how many VR games have they made? Well, they made Until Dawn, Rush to Blood, easily one of the 20 best PlayStation VR games, period. And I know there's a lot of you out there that have recently acquired a PlayStation 4, and you may have missed Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. It is fantastic. It will scare the bejesus out of you, and if you can't stand spiders like me, there's a certain level in that game that will really creep you out. But I love Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. They did that. They did Tumble VR, another amazing game on PlayStation VR. It's kind of like Jenga. It is super cheap. You only need one Move controller. So if some of you out there for some reason have one Move controller, or one of your Move controllers isn't working right or whatever, grab Tumble VR. It is awesome, and it is dirt cheap. It is always super cheap. They made those two games. Then they made Bravo Team, and that was pretty much a dud. They also made The Impatient, which ultimately, like, I feel like the first like 60% of the impatient, you're really not playing anything. It's playing the game for you. And then the last 40% of the game is relatively mediocre. So not a huge fan of the impatient, but it's still a pretty good game. It was a bit too expensive in the beginning, and it's come down in price in a major way. But these guys are talented. I mean, look at those character models. I honestly think those character models look pretty good. This is running on Daydream, guys. This is running on like Pixel phones and stuff. This is a mobile game. Looks kind of cool, and this game may eventually make its way at a certain point in time to Oculus Go, to Gear VR, and to stuff like that. So that is Shattered States. Looks kind of cool. I definitely was not following this game. I was not tracking this game, but I don't really track Daydream stuff. I don't pay attention to Daydream stuff too much. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the news. Back over here. Let's go back to the news. That was Shattered State. So they gave a review. What was their score here? Oh, they just say worth watching. So I guess it's not really a game. Maybe it's more of like an interactive, it's a theatrical experience more so than anything Supermassive has produced before. Okay, so it seems like it's more of a an experience. It lasts about 40 to 60 minutes, and it's branching narrative. It's a branching narrative. So I don't know. Might be cool. Might be interesting. If I had the Daydream platform, I might check it out. Oh yeah, you know, this is in the news. This is what we call reverse psychology here. Richie's Plank, the developers of Richie's Plank, they are pleading with the PlayStation VR community. They're saying, hey everybody out there, don't buy our game. No, seriously, don't buy our game. Like, please don't buy our game. This is masterful. It is masterful. Look at this. 204,000 people have checked this story out. Don't buy our game, everybody. What a great idea. So if we go over here, let's find the subreddits. Okay, this is the Oculus subreddit, but let's go. Let me type in PSVR here. These are the developers of Richie's Plank Experience, and they're telling people, do not buy it. Look at the #1 upvoted thing on the subreddit. 628 upvotes. Note from a developer, don't buy our title. What a masterful stroke of genius by Toast VR. A masterful stroke of genius. They are getting in the news like none other. Hey, they're in my news, like I'm talking about this. This is masterful. Okay, so here's what they're saying. They're saying, we are the indie team behind Richie's Plank Experience. We started as a husband and wife team, and this year we expanded the team to 5 in order to release Richie's Plank Experience on PSVR before Christmas. They designed it specifically to be used to entertain your friends and family. It's a go-to experience to bring out when you have visitors or parties. So if you don't plan on using it for that, it's not for you. Please don't buy this. Please do not buy our game. Please do not fill our coffers with revenues. Please don't do it. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. And so they says, we've received an overwhelming request from fans to release on PSVR. When we asked the PSVR community during the year how we should price it, most seemed okay with price parity to Steam. We agreed. The PC version currently has more features. We plan to add these to the PSVR title in the future. Blah, 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 blah. But basically what they're saying is, look, this was designed to have like a real wood plank and to really have people walk across a plank. And so do not buy our game, people. Do not buy it. For the love of God, do not buy it. And guess what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to buy it, and a lot of people are going to hear about it. That is a stroke of genius. Okay, Soviet Luna Park VR canceled as devs double down on Atomic Heart. You know, that's interesting because this Soviet Luna Park VR, I remember that VR Roundtable got a key for Soviet Luna Park, and I went into the game and I tried to play it, but it was all glitchy and stuff. I was like underwater. I couldn't play the game, but I thought this was released. Like, I thought this was already available, but I guess it actually got canceled. So I guess it released on Steam Early Access. Okay, so they're talking about coming out of Early Access. Like, why do people do this, man? If somebody is taking your goddamn money it is available. It is out there. If someone's taking your money, it's out there. I don't see a price on it right now, but it does say mixed. This game will be closed for purchasing. Okay, so they shut it down at a certain point. But they were taking money. Look, if you're taking money, the game is out. Let's stop with the nonsense, this whole early access nonsense. Like, it's not really available. No, if they're taking your goddamn money, the game is out and available. Now, could it possibly get better at some point in time? Sure. In an ideal world, it will get better. We've seen it with Space Pirate Trainer. We've seen it with a number of games where they did get better. But those are the exceptions, man. Like, most of these games will get marginally better. Not better enough where you're really going to notice. They might have a few little extra, like, options and things. They might have added some improvements to snap turning and stuff like that. But it's not going to get a perceivably better. It's not going to get dramatically better, most of them. So I don't buy into the early access thing. I might be on an island with this. I know a lot of you guys are Steam players and you've been playing computer games, PC games for so long, and you understand the early access concept. And here I am. I'm a console guy by heart. I come over to this PC world because I want to play high-end VR games, and I hear about this thing called early access, early access. I don't buy it, guys. I don't buy it. If you're taking money, you're out there. You're out there. That's my thought. Okay, you know, this is in the news as well. The how do you freaking pronounce this? VR-gineers? Virgineers? Like, how the hell do you pronounce this? But anyway, they apparently are now going to work on a consumer-related headset. Not only that, but they're going to be involving Sebastian. They're going to be involving Martin. They're involving MRTV. They're involving Sweeviver. And they're involving Voodoo DE. I don't know what that guy's real name is. I believe he's like only does it in German, right? So they're having all these guys get together and they're going to help them design like this consumer-based headset. And so I know that is in the news. I haven't really been following this too much because it's so incredibly expensive. And God damn it, you know what? I can't do this show. My throat is killing me. I cannot do this show. I'm going to have to end this show early, guys, because I really, like, just talking right now, it is hurting. I can't really do this. So I'm going to have to bounce out of here a little bit early. My apologies. But it's killing me, and I can barely get through this. So let's see. I'll try to take a quick look over here at Road to VR. Road to VR, Firewall 0 Hour is getting a new containment map. That's pretty cool. Oculus Go holiday sale. Yeah, there's some Black Friday pricing is back for a limited time. If you guys don't have a Go and you want to pick one up, let me see what the prices are here. This deal is set to last until December 23rd and knocks another $20 off both the 32 gig and the 64 gig model. See, if this deal was around when I was buying a Go, I would have got the 64 gig deal. And then you also have this referral program, and I believe a lot of people are kind of gaming this thing. Like, they're figuring out a way how to get referrals, and then they're getting their price down to like $162 or $207 for a Go. So if you've been looking to grab a Go, this is definitely the time to do it. I will be bringing my Oculus Go, by the way, to two different Christmas parties. My side of the family celebrates Christmas on Christmas Eve, and my wife's side of the family celebrates Christmas on Christmas Day. So I'm going to be going to two different Christmas parties, and I'm going to take my Go with me, and I'm going to put a lot of people into VR, and that'll be interesting to see how that works out. So I am kind of excited about that. I kind of thought that the Oculus Go would be a much bigger deal in terms of like the Christmas holiday shopping season. Like, I thought this would be a bigger deal. I know it was on Ellen. It got a little bit of run on Ellen. A lot of people were talking about it on Ellen and stuff. But I thought this would be kind of a bigger deal. Like, I thought it'd be on the Today Show. I thought it would kind of turn into kind of a little bit of a viral sensation. And it would be kind of this really hot Christmas gift. but I don't know that that ever happened. And then Airman929565 says, I figure if I get a Quest, why get a Go? And I can't argue with that. And the Oculus Quest, like, when is Facebook, when is that F5 or whatever it's called, like, when is that going to be? Like, I think it was like April 30th or something like that, or I forget what day it is. But that's when the Quest might be out. So why buy a Go now? You know, I kind of admit, why buy a Go now? Oh, Road to VR did their 2018 Game of the Year awards. We could check this out really quick. Is it like a long video that you got to watch, or do they just... so Beat Saber, what did that? Did that get Game of the Year? I'm just looking at this now. PlayStation Game of the Year is Astrobot. Okay, so is this their overall? Okay, Rift and Vive Game of the Year, Beat Saber. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. It certainly could very well be Game of the Year. And their PlayStation VR Game of the Year is Astrobot. I don't really have a major... Oh, that's it. That's their Game of the Year awards. Whoa, don't do too much, Road to VR. Don't work too hard on this, you know. But, you know, that's cool. I don't have any arguments with that. It's all good. But yeah, you know, my throat has calmed down a little bit, so maybe I can survive here for a little while, and maybe I can continue. But let's see, what else did we want to get into here? Well, you know, we could check out the subreddits. Like we were checking out PlayStation VR. Whatever you do not buy that game. Do not buy it. Oh, check this out, guys. Pixel Ripped 1989, currently on sale, 40% off for the holidays. One of my all-time favorites. This is an awesome, awesome game. So if you are on PlayStation VR, you can grab this for $15. Not a bad deal. Let's check the Steam price real quick. Pixel Ripped 1989. Yeah, no. The Steam price is still up there, man. It's still $25. But if you are a PSVR player, you can grab this for $15. So that is a good deal. I did try the Nightmare bonus level. It is pretty cool. So there is that. But let's go ahead and go back to where was I? Okay, back over here. Let's go back to the subreddits. Let's go ahead and check the Vive subreddit, see what's going on over there. I'm going to pop in Vive on here. Okay, Pavlov players, don't be assholes. Okay. There will be a gaming version of the Xtal high-end headset. I will test it. Okay, so that's Voodoo DE. He's making his own little post. And then I know MRTV was in here as well. Here's MRTV, new high-end Xtal gaming headset for VR enthusiast market. Where's Sweevivor's post? Come on, Sweevivor, you can't be the only one that doesn't post a little Reddit thread on this, right? I'm not seeing where's Sweevivor's post on this. But yeah, there is going to be a high-end Xtal gaming headset for high-end gaming enthusiasts. So we do have that to look forward to. I'm not really going to get into that too much right now because my throat will not let me get into it. Should I get Blade and Sorcery or Contractors? That's an interesting question. Let's see what people are telling this guy. This is CFOD17. Both games look really fun, and I love shooters and that melee kind of thing. Which one is better? 2 games on my wish list. I see multiplayer value for Contractors, but the sandbox of Sorcery is tasty too. This guy's saying Contractors will give you way more hours of enjoyment. Depends on what type of gameplay you like more. You said you like both, but if you have a preference, go with that. Blah, blah, blah. Blade and Sorcery is unique, but not much game there. Contractors looks like a run-of-the-mill shooter. I played both for the first time this weekend. They were okay. Blade still didn't hit that sword fighting spot for me. AI can only do so much, but you can still get a cheap head stab on them with a dagger. Contractors I played versus AI, and it was cool, but just smoother run-of-the-mill shooter. Yeah, I mean, I gotta get back into Contractors. I can't really make a judgment on this, but yeah, those are a couple games people are thinking about. That is on the Vive subreddit there. I was just trying to see if there was any other stories that were going on here, any other news that's popping off. Not really seeing too much here. I mean, I'm quickly looking through all of this. Okay, let's go ahead and check out Oculus briefly. Let's give equal equal time to the 3 major platforms that we look at here. You know, I did see this. So Anshar Studios, these are the guys that developed Detached. They have a new game called Telefrag VR that is coming in 2019. And this is a new screenshot from one of their maps. It is called Telefrag VR. We could actually look this up really quick on Steam. Telefrag. I don't like this name. Do you guys like this name? Telefrag VR. Not a big fan of the name. The logo is okay. Anshar Studios, let's see, they made Detached. Yeah, I guess, okay, so just Detached and Telefrag. That's all they've done. But, you know, one of the things I do like about this world is the idea behind the world that they made here is kind of like the Roman civilization. You know how it's the rise and fall of Rome? Well, Rome never fell. Rome just kept going and going and going and going, and this is way into the future, and so it's kind of like this Roman future thing, and I actually think that is kind of cool. Like, I actually like the idea of that, like this Roman future. Like, here we go. Like, look at this is kind of Rome, but it's also kind of future, bruh. You know, it looks kind of cool. Like, you got statues from Rome and stuff, but you got all this neon stuff. So it's kind of like the world of Rome, like the ancient world of Rome and Tron. You just smash them together. And this is Telefrag VR, and it's kind of like this futuristic Roman. Look at, that's pretty cool with like the statue, the pools, you know, the columns and everything. So it kind of has a different look there. That was one of the original maps that they had here. They're showing you different screenshots of these maps in Telefrag. Wait a minute, I want to get back to Telefrag. Tell a friend about Telefrag. Telefrag VR. And yeah, so they have this new map called Fallen Champion. They showed a picture of that. It's this one right here. So yeah, this is like scheduled for like mid 2019. It's coming to the Vive, the Rift, and PSVR. It is called Telefrag VR. So that is another game that we will have to look forward to in the year 2019. So I did see a little bit about that. Alrighty, guys, my throat is absolutely killing me. I got to keep swallowing. I do not feel good with this throat here. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I did my best, you know. And you know what? Hey, it's almost been an hour. It's almost been an hour. So I kind of made it through anyway. So it's all good. All right, so let me go ahead and get my little outro logo on the screen here. Outro logo, and that will go ahead and do it. All right, so that has been what we call a shiitake mushroom celebration on this Monday episode of VR365. I can barely talk. I've got a frog in my throat, but the frog is pissed. He's hella pissed off, and he's like biting and scratching my throat. This frog got some serious claws, and he's just scratching and biting on my throat. And I can barely talk, so I got to get the hell out of Dodge. But guess what? I will be back tomorrow on Tuesday, hopefully closer to 11 a.m., our proper time, 20 minutes late today, my fault. But you know what? If we don't have any stories that we can get into tomorrow, we can get into the games of November. And there were some big games in November. We have 10 Hearts, we have Transpose, there's a lot of other stuff. We have Scraper that came out in November, so we might get into the games of November on tomorrow, assuming we don't have any other big news that we can get into. So look forward to that. I will be back. I got to get me something for my throat to be sure, but I'm going to be out of here. I will, subscribe to the show, like the show, you know, the whole deal, right? You know the whole deal. But yeah, I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.